Welcome back to the Cyber Street Journal. I'm your host, Mike Hoosh, and this week we are looking past the threat vectors and 0 days to focus on the balance sheets, the funding rounds, and the corporate shakeups that are defining the future of digital defense. We've seen a relentless surge in activity recently, proving that while security threats escalate, so does investor confidence in the companies fighting them. We're talking about billion-dollar acquisitions, massive pre-IPO raises, and seed funding rounds that could redefine market segments, particularly in the realm of AI. Let's start with the M&A market, which has just produced the biggest cybersecurity acquisition in history. We are, of course, talking about Google's planned acquisition of Wiz for $32 billion. This deal has officially cleared a significant hurdle. The antitrust review initiated by the U.S. Department of Justice, DOJ, has been cleared.
The DOJ signaled the clearance by issuing an early termination of its investigation, indicating that it will not challenge the deal further. Wiz CEO Asaf Rappaport confirmed that his company had cleared this regulatory hurdle during the WSJ Tech Live California event, though they are still in the journey between signing and closing. The acquisition is expected to close in 2026, subject to customary closing conditions and reviews in other jurisdictions. For some context, this $32 billion price tag is enormous. Cisco acquired Splunk for $28 billion in 2024, but that was considered a hybrid security and observability play, not pure cybersecurity. Before that, the largest pure cybersecurity deal was Palo Alto Networks' plan to acquire CyberArk for $25 billion. It's worth remembering that this deal almost didn't happen. A possible acquisition of Wiz by Google was first announced in July 2024 for a reported $23 billion, but Wiz walked away then, saying it intended to pursue an IPO. Wiz has developed solutions designed to find and address security flaws, specifically in enterprise cloud deployments. For Google, adding Wiz technologies alongside Mandiant is a clear move to strengthen its presence in the enterprise cybersecurity space, aiming to establish an end-to-end security platform that covers proactive defense, threat intelligence, and incident response. However, this mega deal has already raised concerns among competitors and customers. Karen Walker, CFO at Sysdig, a Wiz competitor, pointed out that for Wiz customers who expect cloud security independence, the path forward is murkier. She noted that organizations increasingly build infrastructure across multi-cloud environments, and there is a risk that Wiz customers operating in other clouds like AWS or Microsoft Azure might become second-class citizens due to Google aligning Wiz more tightly with its own platform. Google, for its part, has stated that Wiz security products will remain accessible across all major cloud platforms, including AWS, Microsoft Azure, and Oracle Cloud. Moving from acquisitions to funding, we turn our attention to Armis, an exposure management and security company that is making aggressive moves toward an IPO. Armis recently raised a staggering $435 million in a pre-IPO funding round, which values the company at an impressive $6.1 billion. This latest round was led by growth equity at Goldman Sachs Alternatives, with participation from Capital G, Evolution Equity Partners, and others.
This raise comes as Armis prepares for an IPO, having surpassed $300 million in annual recurring revenue ARR. The company's mission is clearly defined: reach $1 billion in ARR.
The speed of Armis' valuation growth is truly notable. It jumped from $1.1 billion when Insight Partners acquired it in 2020 to $2 billion in early 2021, $3.4 billion later that same year, and $4.2 billion in late 2024, culminating in today's $6.1 billion valuation. Interestingly, publications reported this summer that private equity firm Thoma Bravo had been in talks to acquire Armis in a deal valued at $5 billion, which shows just how much investor interest this company has generated. Co-founder and CEO Yevgeny Dibrov has targeted the end of 2026 as a good time for an IPO. Armis isn't just raising money. They are actively spending it to grow their platform. The new investment is earmarked for strategic acquisitions, product enhancements, and go-to-market initiatives. Over the past 2 years, they have already acquired 3 companies: CTCI, reportedly for $20 million, Silk Security, $150 million, and Otorio, reportedly for $120 million. Armis develops solutions that enable enterprises to discover IT, OT, and IoT assets in their environments. Beyond basic asset intelligence and visibility, their platform offers protection, risk assessment, vulnerability prioritization, remediation, and compliance capabilities. Their focus on exposure management is clearly resonating with investors, as evidenced by the massive funding round. The smaller but no less significant funding rounds signal where the industry is focusing its innovation efforts. The recurring themes are AI-powered defense, identity security, and exposure management. Leading the pack in terms of seed funding size is Tenzai, a Tel Aviv-based startup that emerged from stealth with an enormous $75 million seed funding round. This is one of the largest early-stage rounds reported in the sector. Tenzai is focused on building an agentic AI penetration testing platform. Their AI agents are designed to actively hack, exploit, and fix vulnerabilities across enterprise software at the speed of AI. The company plans to use this capital to expand its research and security teams and support growth in North America and Europe. The founders, who have tenure at elite military intelligence units, previously built and scaled Guardicore, which was acquired by Akamai. Tenzai's mission is to move penetration testing from being sporadic and manual to being autonomous, continuous, and AI-driven. Another crucial area of focus is on secrets and non-human identities, NHIs. Truffle Security recently raised $25 million in a Series B funding round, bringing their total raised to over $40 million. The investment, led by Intel Capital and a 16Z, will fuel the development of their enterprise-grade secrets detection, verification, and remediation platform. They are known for the open-source solution Truffle. The company is tackling a major problem. Credential misuse remains a leading cause of data breaches, and Truffle Security's solutions search for leaked secrets like API keys and tokens across source code repositories, chat systems, and version history. The new funds specifically support the launch of Truffle GCP Analyze, which offers visibility into leaked Google Cloud secrets. We also saw significant activity in the threat exposure management, TEM, and identity management spaces. Flare raised $30 million in a funding round, a $15 million Series B extension, and $15 million in debt financing, bringing its total raised to nearly $70 million. Flare provides TEM intelligence gathered from the clear and dark web to help address high-risk exposures. They plan to use the new funds to advance their identity exposure management IEM capabilities and pursue strategic M&A opportunities. Seattle-based startup Aleria, which manages employee access to applications and data, raised $19 million, bringing its total funding to over $60 million. Aleria is backed by investors, including Salesforce Ventures and Evolution Equity Partners, and is focusing on providing a fundamentally different approach to identity security, especially as AI accelerates business speed and widens gaps left by legacy tools. Finally, Ralavera, a startup focused on automating detection engineering, raised $3 million in seed funding. Detection engineering, the process of creating and maintaining rules to identify threats, is often neglected and broken. Ralavera's platform uses AI to validate rule performance and flag issues, addressing a foundational security problem. The necessity of this platform was highlighted by their finding that in one customer deployment, only 5% of the 1,000 detection rules were working as intended. What this rush of activity tells us is that the market is placing massive bets on a few key necessities. First, integration is key. Google's acquisition of Wiz is all about creating a robust end-to-end security architecture that combines cloud defense with threat intelligence and incident response. Second, AI is now mission critical, not just a feature. Companies like Tenzai are receiving massive seed funding because the market sees autonomous AI-driven solutions as the only way to keep pace with rapid software development and evolving threats. Third identity and access remain the weakest link. The funding for Alaria, Truffle Security, and Flare underscores the escalating risk associated with compromised credentials and the necessity of managing both human and non-human identities. Whether it's massive M&A deals clearing, regulatory hurdles, or startups emerging with enormous seed rounds, the cybersecurity business landscape is defined by acceleration. Investment is flowing to companies that can automate complex tasks and provide comprehensive visibility across increasingly sprawling enterprise environments. That's all the time we have for this week. Thank you for tuning in to the Cyber Street Journal.